You're about to watch an episode of my true crime podcast, but here's the thing. It's not real. It's not a real true crime story. My guest thinks that I'm telling him a true crime case for him to react to, but in reality, I'm just telling him the plot to an episode of Scooby-Doo. So we get to sit back and find out if at any point during this story is he going to be like, wait, is this an episode of Scooby-Doo? I've done this a few times now, and one thing that people keep asking for in the comments is a version that, doesn't give away that this isn't a real true crime case, so that way you can trick your friends. And you can actually, if you go to the links below, there's a podcast audio-only version that I have released for all of my episodes that have been out so far that you can show to your friends and trick them into thinking it's a real true crime case. All right, let's jump into the episode. Welcome to Unleashed, a true crime podcast. Today, I'm joined by Dan from Deck the Hallmark, the Bramble Jam, where we record all of these. I invited you on.
Yeah, man.
Because you strike me as the type of person who would be skeptical of like the supernatural.
100%.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know anything that's going on right now, but I can tell you
don't know anything.
That you got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, this is the show where I find the absolute most absurd true crime stories on the internet.
Okay.
The reason I wanted you for this one in particular is because it dips a toe in the supernatural. I would say it's supernatural adjacent.
Okay.
It was September 27, 1969. A group of college kids were out boating when the weather quickly changed and they ended up getting lost in a ton of fog. They end up on the other side of the harbor where they were hanging out and they crash into an embankment. That embankment is in front of Vasquez Castle. It's a historic rundown estate that was built on a small island that was the frequent stopping place for a famous pirate named Vasquez back in the early 1600s. It's already getting wild. We got pirates.
Where is this?
This is in like a New England area.
Okay.
The case did not specify the exact city.
Interesting.
But it hasn't been reserved properly. So the whole place has become pretty dangerous. It's a condemned building, and a lot of the local kids and teenagers always call it Haunted Island.
Haunted Island. Yeah. No, as you would.
It's the kind of thing where they would dare each other to try to get close to
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Oh, I bet you won't stay the night at the Haunted Island.
Yeah. It sounds like a horror movie setup. Like we're here.
Yeah.
And there's no fancy, it's always like Dead Man's Pass or Haunted Island. It's very,
It's never a creative.
It's not reinvent the wheel.
The name of the castle is Vasquez Castle, but immediately the kids are like Haunted Island.
Haunted Island. Yeah, let's get right to it. Let's not, no bones about it.
The college kids that get their boat stuck on the embankment decide they're going to walk up to the house to see if there's anyone up there that could help them. And I mean, the whole shoreline, I guess you would call it, is just trash. Like, it's overgrown. It's not cut back. It hasn't been taken care of. So it's not an easy hike up to the castle.
Okay.
One of the funnier things that I found in this, because a lot of it's pretty terrifying, but this was funny. As they're walking up, one of the students see like a large piece of paper on the ground. So he reaches down to pick it up, but there's a crab under it. And the crab actually pinches him pretty hard.
It's my paper. But you're reading this from, like, you get this research from where? Where are you getting this research from?
I find all these true crime stories online.
Okay.
But I do make sure to cite them enough to where these are actual, like, there's police.
Right. Because, I mean, to
accounts.
have the story include crab got me when I took the paper, that's very specific.
In this situation in particular, there were police that end up arriving.
Okay.
And there was a whole police report.
Oh, wow.
Which means that each of the college students were questioned and gave their side.
That's when we got the crab
That's
situation.
where we find out that someone got pinched by a crab.
I'm glad it made it. I'm glad it made it. There's a lot we could talk about. I'm glad
he could have lost a finger.
Yeah,
and
easily.
That wouldn't even have been the worst thing to happen at this day. They get the paper and they realize that it's a torn up piece of a map. Not of the island.
Oh,
it's
pirates!
Just
I got it. I'm here. Let's go.
It's not a treasure map.
Come on,
it's not.
Oh,
no.
Damn it! Why'd you do that to me, Chase?
On the back of the map, someone had written in handwriting, "Danger, leave Haunted Island now." So the group immediately is divided because some of them think this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Others just think that it's some kid that was here trying to scare his friends and this map got stuck, left behind.
It seems very convenient.
Right. But even if they did want to turn around and go back, their boat is stuck. They don't have any way to get back. This is 1969.
Their boat's stuck?
On the embankment.
Okay.
They crashed into the embankment.
They crashed in. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even if they wanted to turn around, they really don't have a choice. They're stuck. This is 1969. They don't have cell phones.
Yeah.
So, and it's getting dark.
Yeah.
Outside. So they don't really know what to do. They keep going up to the castle. They get up to the door, and they manage to pry the door open and get inside. The place is really run down. It's abandoned. They don't have any option but to just kind of wander around this castle. Well, while they're walking down the main hallway, the wooden floorboards are rotted out, and one of the college kids actually falls through the floorboards. She falls pretty far through, and it's gotten so dark that they can't even see where she went.
What are they doing in there?
Well, at that same
At
moment,
least get the moonlight. You know,
well, they're inside.
I know, you got to stay outside. What are they doing in there?
Well, I mean, they're kids.
Okay.
They're college students, so they
okay.
probably feel safer
This
inside.
sounds like you're pitching a movie. Like it
Yeah,
sounds like you're
yeah,
pitching
yeah.
a film.
Well, we can do that instead. I'll pitch this to you. You greenlight it or not.
I love it.
At this same exact moment, this is where it gets crazy.
Okay.
They start hearing someone laughing really loudly.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They don't know where it's coming from. They're terrified, and so they just take off running. Their friend just fell through the floorboards.
And they just leave her?
They leave her.
Deuces, you're stuck in a haunted mansion. Nothing we can do.
I feel the need
Haunted
to
island, excuse
preface
me.
that most of the group are guys.
Yeah. This isn't looking great.
There is
Not
two
looking
women,
great.
and one of them went through a floorboard. So they take off running. They're lost now. And it occurs to them they need to find their friend.
I mean, how dark is it?
There's no electricity. There's no
yeah.
lighting. So they're searching the dark. They're in a couple rooms. They get separated. So now the group's separated. They're trying to find their friend who went through the floor.
Yeah.
It's dark. No one can see anything.
They're hearing laughter.
And this is where we touch the supernatural a little
just
bit.
a little touch.
Two of the guys are in a room looking for their friends, and they start seeing objects flying around the room around them, just floating in the air. It freaks them out because they don't know if this is just their imaginations playing with them in the dark. Is this real?
Yeah,
This
your
is-
vision can kind of fuck with you when
Exactly.
when it's that dark. You can start to see things in like different shades of darkness.
And also, it's called Haunted Island.
It's called Haunted
So they're
Island.
probably like, oh no.
They found a map that said "Get out."
Yeah. So, do you think if you were in this situation,
Yeah.
would your mind start playing tricks on you?
I think I have a hard time finding myself in that situation for a number of reasons.
You don't go
But
boating in the
I don't
the
go
harbor?
boating and then wreck and then go, what if we go in a place that's darker than the place we're in that we know is haunted? I wouldn't find, but if it is pitch black, which is how I want to sleep every night, like I have
Okay.
blackout curtains. I want it to be completely black. When it is that dark, your eyes, if you keep them open to adjust, will not
Yeah.
necessarily floating ghost, but will try to manifest the layers of darkness wherever you're finding light. And so that's pretty easily explainable to me.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say that it's my eyes immediately. If I was in there, I'd be like, dude, it's so dark in here. My eyes are starting to whatever light's left, I'm catching it and it's not processing.
A counterpoint, what about the laughter?
Yeah, the laughter's crazy. Because
That's
either
the ears playing tricks
either,
on.
yeah, their ears scientifically now, the darkness in the ears, that's either one of their friends who has a really dark sense of humor, or it could be like a bird, like there's a bird nearby that's cackling.
That's a fun theory. I like that.
The bird theory at Haunted Island.
The bird theory at Haunted
That's right.
Island. That's the name of the movie.
That's right. Yeah, you get it.
They see things floating.
Okay.
They take off running. They're
Okay.
scared. They actually run into their friend who fell through the floorboards. But she's been by herself for a little bit, so she's pretty scared. She hears their footsteps running towards them, and she takes a vase off of the table and smashes one of the guys in the head with it. This is not a cartoon vase. This is a hard clay vase. So it doesn't shatter on his head. It just knocks him loopy.
Yeah, I got a few questions.
Okay.
But she's in the floor.
No. So she went through the
She
floorboards.
went all the way
She's in
through.
the basement.
She's
now.
limping around in the basement.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And she is pissed that all of her friends just were like, every man for himself.
I think at this point she was probably just relieved to have seen her friends.
Oh, okay. So
Because-
I'm thinking maybe she did it on purpose. She's like, you ran away
No.
from me in the dark, and now the vase is happening.
That's another important thing to bring up. I'm going through this pretty quickly. This takes place over several hours.
Okay.
They're in this place all night.
Okay, got you.
In the medical report afterwards, because he was sent to a hospital. He says that he wasn't knocked unconscious, but he was seeing stars, which modern medical tells us that's a sign of a concussion. So now this guy's concussed. One of the guys are concussed.
Yes.
Someone's gone through the floorboards, and someone else is concussed.
Man.
And someone got pinched by a crab. Different guy.
Yeah, things are going well.
Things are not going great. It's a bad
To be
omen.
fair, you took the crab's paper. That's not.
It was his
There's
map.
nothing haunted
It was
about
his
that.
map. He was trying to find his way back
That's
home.
a crab who's pissed. He had some sort of roof over his head.
Yeah.
He's just trying to live his life.
And then you took the roof off, and
That's
now
right.
he's just going
That's
crazy.
right. He's like, I got one move, and it's happening.
Can you imagine? Dude. Oh, man.
Now, if the crab talked at the end, maybe the crab's laughing. That could be it.
Now the commotion of their friend getting hit in the head with the vase, it's a whole ordeal. It helps the other friends hear them. Now they're all finally back together.
Yes.
All 5 of them back together. They get their friend to his feet. They're trying to brush him off. And then they start hearing the laughter again. This time,
Damn laughter.
this is where I think we're going to lose you.
Okay.
This time they look up and they see a ghost. And this isn't like a horror movie ghost. They claim that this ghost was like a classic sheet ghost. Like it was someone with a bed sheet with eye holes
Like
cut
that
out.
movie that was a Ghost Story, the movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
the A24 movie.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it didn't seem to be a person with a bed sheet on them because it was floating in the air and it was translucent. Like it did not look like a solid object.
You could see through it.
Yeah. The ghost starts yelling at them. I'm warning you, leave the island and never return. Then it just kind of starts going back towards the corridor on its
Okay.
own. The 3 guys think that this is just some dude in a bed sheet.
Yeah.
They take off after him down
Yeah.
the corridor.
Kick his ass.
Yeah, exactly. They chase him all the way down in the hallway. The ghost stops, like very suddenly stops. The guys go through him.
Oh, my God.
As in, he's not a physical object.
Oh, my goodness.
They pass right through him. The ghost turns and walks through a solid wall. It is dark. So, and this is a first-person point of view.
We're yes. If we've established the hell out of the fact that it's dark,
Yes.
the whole podcast we have, whatever
Yes.
this is,
And it's 1969.
that's right. And so we've established that no one can see anything. And
Yeah.
now you want me to believe the eyewitness testimony of the people who can't see anything, what they saw.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking you to do.
That's tough. That's tough.
So you're not buying this
That's
at
a
all.
big ask.
You're not buying that this is a real ghost?
I just know that like one of the first things that I didn't go to law school. One of the first things they teach you in law school, so I've heard, is that just a eyewitness testimony is very unreliable.
That makes sense.
And so for all these folks to have the same story makes it less believable to me.
Because it's like
Because like if it's completely dark and how many people
there's 5 total.
have the same story? That only happens if you cooked it up.
Okay.
You're gonna see different things.
So not only do you think that
Yeah.
there's not a ghost, you think that they made this up.
If you and I both went to Chipotle, we'd have different versions of what happened.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
that 5 people go in a place they can't see a thing and they come out with the same story
feels doctored to you?
feels very doctored.
Okay. They're lost in this house.
Okay.
They do find a key to one of the doors that they couldn't open in the basement.
In the complete pitch black dark, they found a key.
There is it's a condemned building. I would imagine maybe some
Moonlight,
sort of light is
moonbeams
getting
coming through there.
Maybe.
Okay.
They go through the door that they were able to open. And inside this room looks totally different from the entire rest of the castle. The room is cleaned up. It has working lights, which means that there's power. And there are things all over the room.
All right.
There is a...
This is the creepiest thing you said. This is the part where the horror movie gets good, right?
This is the part where it's no longer like supernatural. It's like, oh no, there's a person.
Yeah. No, this is scary.
There's a table with a top hat, and it's the kind that like a magician would pull a rabbit out of.
Okay.
And it's a magic trick. When they're playing around with this top hat, flowers pop out.
Okay, so
Like
it's a
fake
magic
flowers.
hat.
It's a magic hat.
Yeah.
And there's tons of other magic stuff too. There's disappearing cabinets. There's the box where you put someone in and you saw them in two.
But it's there in the separate. Yes.
Yep. All that kind of stuff. All in this room. They hear footsteps coming towards them, so they all jump into one of the closets. In this closet, they see the ghost again.
How big's this closet?
It's
5 people and a ghost?
I say closet. They called it a closet in the report. From what I understand, all these rooms are pretty big. It's
Okay.
a castle.
Okay, got it.
The ghost is still floating, and it talks to them again. It says, I warned you, now you're going to pay.
Okay.
They take off running and screaming, trying to get out of this basement. One of them jumps into one of the disappearing cabinets.
Yeah.
Hiding in there.
Classic.
They said that they watched the ghost glide through the front of it.
All right, see, here's the thing. Ghosts are stupid and magic's stupid, but together they're kind of fucking scary. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And that's kind of the genesis of this whole story.
Yeah.
Another one of them jumps into the saw person in half table, and he claims that he's freaking out because a hand saw, is floating above him, acting like it's going to cut him in half.
Okay, all right.
This is where we reach the pinnacle of the supernatural.
Okay.
They say a magic carpet is flying around all over.
God, no. Whole new world. There's no worlds where that is happening.
This is where I think my opinion differs from yours a little bit.
Okay.
I think you think that they're making all this up. They claim that at this point they thought that they were losing their minds.
Okay.
Like
they were delirious.
They thought that they were either delirious.
Okay.
One of them said that they thought that they had died and all of this was just like hell.
Okay. That I buy.
They cannot grasp how any of this is possible. And like I said before, this is all happening over the course of several hours. They've
Okay.
been here all night in the dark.
All right.
Like here's something that's pretty crazy. At one point, the ghost is chasing them down one of the hallways. Two of the guys find some rope and they decide to try to like get low and pull it tight across the corridor. And they're like, oh, we'll trip the ghost.
Clothesline.
Turns out it wasn't the ghost that was running. It was one of their friends. They
Got
tripped
him.
their friend.
Yeah.
And their friend goes flying. But when he goes flying, he actually tackles the ghost.
The ghost that you can see through.
That you can see through. But get this. This time when he hits the ghost, there's physical contact.
I gotta be honest, at this point I'm expecting them to unmask the ghost and it to be like Mr. Clarence in Scooby-Doo.
Brother. He tackles the ghost.
Okay.
It's a physical person.
Yeah.
They've got the ghost on the ground. They rip the bed sheet off. Who do you think is underneath
Mr. Clarence.
Mr.
Like
Clarence?
I said from the get-go.
Well,
I think it's a guy that lived there and he propagated the myth so he could live there and not be bothered.
They take the bed sheet off of him. It's just some guy. They don't know
Some
this
guy. They don't know.
We find out later, after the police arrived, that this guy, oh, by the way, the police was able to find them. Of missing persons were put up. Their parents were worried. They've been searching the
APB, whole thing.
Yeah. Once the sun came up, they found the boat.
Done and done.
Anyway, we find out this guy is Bluestone the Great.
Bluestone the Great.
He's
Shout
a
out.
magician who was wanted in 6 states, and he had been using the condemned castle to hide from the authorities.
Okay, I was close.
He was using his magic tricks to scare anyone who
Yeah.
visited the island.
Yeah.
Which was mostly just kids trying to scare each
Yeah.
other. So his whole
Haunted
thing
island.
was if these kids saw a ghost flying around, they'd take off and no one would
I
believe
love
them.
that.
No one would believe that
It's a
kids
great
saw a
movie.
ghost. The way he was able to do the levitation tricks and the walking through wall tricks, he had special projectors and mirrors set up. Like this is old school.
Projectors.
This is old school 60s magic.
That's fantastic.
He had essentially turned this castle
I love it.
into a giant magic trick.
I love it. I love it. That's better than a guy just wanting to be left alone. Oh, that makes sense though. Same motivation.
Yeah.
But he was a criminal. He was a criminal magician.
He's a criminal magician.
What were his crimes? Before I get too thrilled for this guy.
I actually don't know.
Uh-oh.
I should look into that.
Yeah.
But he was wanted in 6 states.
That's a lot of states. Yeah.
And I'm assuming they're all New England area.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that is.
So I love it. I
Yes.
love, like, I would watch the movie.
Mhm.
I love the fact that he's doing all this to to get these kids scared. And it worked because kids could always run away, but they're in a
Right.
situation where they can't run away.
Because the boat is stuck.
And so the more he huffs and puffs, they just get more scared and they're just still there.
So about halfway through this story, you had decided these kids are making this all up.
I would have said that there's a reason. I'm a big, like, there's a reason for what you experienced.
Okay.
And you just maybe, or we're not in the headspace to get there. So I do think that these folks are in a traumatic situation and just so happen to enter a magic house.
Yeah, a
which
magic
is
castle, which is
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, it's so great.
You can't get away with stuff like that nowadays.
No. You can't be a criminal in 6 states and then scare people in the pitch black dark.
There
with
would be
your magic
someone on
tricks. No.
TikTok being like, guys, the magic haunted castle is awesome.
Yes. Yeah. He'd be like, or it'd be like, he'd be panning it, the haunted, haunted island, not so haunted, ruining it for everybody.
As far as true crime stories,
Yeah.
how does this rank on insane?
So I love it as it almost feels like an episode of like CSI.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if one kid would have died and they show up, and they could have done it in 40 or 50 minutes and then explained it all. That's fun. It sounds like a fun horror movie. It almost sounds like a pitch someone would give to a studio for a horror movie. I love it as a story.
Okay.
I don't know about I'm sure there are stranger things out there. I'm not, my wife's a big true crime person. I would say on the strange scale, like 4 of 10, 5 of 10, but on the entertaining scale, way up there. Yeah.
Would you like to
Absolutely.
know the craziest part?
Hit me.
The cops show up, they arrest Bluestone the Great. And as they're walking away with Bluestone, he says, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Welcome to Unleashed, a fake true crime podcast.
There it is.
I'm just telling episodes of Scooby-Doo.
That's all you're doing. It had to be Scooby-Doo the whole time.
You're the first person to bring up Scooby-Doo.
It had to be Scooby-Doo. I knew it was like, I wasn't sure it was Scooby-Doo because I didn't know anything about this, but it sounded just like a Scooby-Doo episode. And my kids are big into Scooby-Doo right now.
So you're the first one to bring up Scooby-Doo in the main story.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that you win. You're the first winner.
Listen, to be fair, I didn't say it, so I want to give you credit for having a podcast this fun, and it's a great idea. But the whole time I was like, this is on a Scooby-Doo track for sure. Mr. Clarence. What's his real name? Bluestone the Great?
Bluestone the Great. Yeah. That's why when you were like, what city is this? I was like, I have no idea.
Well, that's, like a lot of this was fake from a standpoint of like that, but once we tackle the ghost, it's Scooby-Doo.
Yes, 100%.
Before then, I'm like, all right, well, maybe.
Out of the ones I've done so far, this is the most far-fetched one. The other two are very grounded stories, like bank robber and stuff like that. And I knew you would be the most skeptical.
Yes.
So it was a big risk.
I never, you was a great guest to have on the show, first of all. Second of all, like, the fact that my kids are watching Scooby-Doo right now helped a bunch.
Which Scooby-Doo are they watching?
The original.
Oh, yeah. This is episode season 2, episode 4.
You can't, there's some you can't do with like the mummies, like that you're just going to get, people are going to get it real quick.
Right.
But I didn't believe the story for a second because all you have is eyewitness accounts. But the more we got into it, the more I was like, this would be cool if it was real, but it sounds like a Scooby-Doo episode. And I should have just leaned into that and been like, it's Scooby-Doo. But I mean, I'm happy that I caught on at least, but it's such a great idea for a show.
Thanks, man.
I mean, really fantastic.
Thank you so much for being
here.
here.
Chase, thanks for having me. This was a blast. Anytime you want to try to get me again, feel free. Or I can help you crack a case. That's what I'm here for.
All right. Like, subscribe. Cool.